Good morning. Today is the 23rd of May 2024 and I'm going to go through my trading plan for today and watch list. On the news front, we've had some news come in at 8:30, which is initial jobless claims, and we do have some news coming in at 9:45, which could move the market, and we've got Fed speaking at 3 o'clock, so just be wary of those times today. And we've got new home sales at 10, so 9:45, 10 and 3 p.m. today. And tomorrow we've got a big one in the morning tomorrow. So that's what could move the market today. So let's get into the trades for today. On my screen is the ES chart, and we're currently looking at the 1 hour time frame. Hang on 1 second. Here we go. 1 hour time frame. Just making sure I've got the microphone enabled. It looks like it is. So I've already taken a trade today, so pretty much my trading day is probably over unless we get a decent level which ticks off all of my trading plan. I posted a video today on reversal, my reversal. In fact, I was doing a reversal video and it just happened to play out, so I took the trade live as well. So I was watching this, look at this, for a perfect reversal. So it sold off, it came into a level I was watching, it was a break and retest as well off the all-time highs, and it was off the VWAP as well. So many reasons. It ticked off pretty much most of these on my checklist as well. I used order flow to confirm my entry as well, and I think other than ending volume, because it looked like it was more ending exhausted volume rather than ending volume, it was pretty much a perfect trade, and I ended up 5R on that trade. So I'll go through that once I've just done the levels. So the levels for today, still want to watch the same area, 53.50 for a bounce. So if we get back down into this area, pre-market low area, we can watch for a double bottom to continue the trend. We could also look at the fibs as well and see where the fibs takes us on this way up. That's 50% about there, and the 618's around here. So you could watch that, but I don't really play fibs. I use it as a guide, but that's it. Rejection wise, we are pretty extended. If we look at the 5 minute, you can see we were up in the RSIs. We've been pretty extended all day, and in fact the only place I could see a rejection, and it's already gone now, and it's exactly this area here. So maybe if it comes back in, puts in a double top at the pre-market high, and then we can look for a rejection. So I'll put it in my list, but it's a higher risk because it's against the trend. So we've got pre-market high 53.68 rejection area, so let's just mark that in, and that's it only if we have no follow through, and only it's a higher risk one. Like I said, we are going against the trend. We pull back, push up, pull back. We could just see it break through. We could use that area as a break and retest as well, but we are coming up into the 70 area on the RSI. So you know, once we get over 70%, then we're looking at potential pullbacks. But Nvidia's dragging the market up right now. Let's see what that's doing. Okay, I thought it'd be higher, and I've not looked at it today, but big move after market yesterday. It went from 950, I think it was down at 930 in day 932, and it hit 1020. So decent move up by Nvidia. Maybe we'll get some continuation on that. And that's also dragged up the market. So after market, we were around here, and big push up. We saw this big candle, and where were we? 4 p.m. Yeah, that big candle there came back a little bit, and then just followed in. It's been trending up ever since. So to keep things simple, we're going to watch for a double top at the pre-market high, higher risk. Break and retest is quite extended, so that's also higher risk. We've got 2 trades up there we can watch for. It's supposed to be number 2. We'll watch for a bounce. This is a more higher probability trade, a bounce at the pre-market low. I quite like that. And obviously we've broken the trend lines are relevant now because we broke it, so we can ignore that. So I do quite like the bounce around 53.50, 53.48 area. Another possible outcome, we could see it come down into that area and put in a right shoulder. As we just said, we're pretty overextended, and so we may even see the beginnings of a head and shoulders pattern forming at this all-time high for the move down. So that's it really, just two real levels to watch: pre-market high 53.68 and the pre-market low 53.40. Well, the low's at 53.50. I'm sorry, 53.48, but really 53.50. Nice round number. My alerts, my alerts were on that area. I'm gonna put another alert back down. So if we do get back down to that area, I'll get notified. Looking at SPY next. In fact, let's just go over the trade I took this morning as well. Let's go into the 2 minute. Seems to be slow switching between. Here we go. So this is a trade I took. I'm up to up as well. It was 5.7 R. This is a trend line. We broke this trend line, and then what I was waiting for. Let's draw it properly. And this is. I was doing a strategy video at the same time because I wanted to document my reversal strategy, and while I was doing it, I thought it was a perfect area, perfect place. So we had a double bottom, that's the reversal candle. So let's just go to my checklist. This is the checklist I use, or I should be using, and sometimes I kind of a bit blinkered. So we got, is there a reversal pattern, which is that one there. As it at 60-minute level, which it was, that's the yesterday's area consolidation, which we're watching on a 60-minute chart, so we can tick that one off. Trend line broken, just there, so we can tick that off. Delta showing a reversal, it definitely was. If you watch the video I created, I go into the delta, but let's just flick to that screen. So this is my order flow, and let's go back to what time it was, 5 AM. So just, it was here. So the interesting thing here is it stands out like a sore thumb as well. We got a red candle here with neutral delta, you know, minus 48, that's almost zero. Then we've got a red candle here, and that's the only negative delta we had. Then look to the right, another red candle, positive delta, a green candle, positive, another red candle, positive delta, a neutral candle, positive. Look at this, a red candle, massive delta there. So this is why it felt like the reverse was coming. Another red candle, and we had neutral. It says minus 17, but it's pretty neutral. And so I was watching for this trend to break, and then that was my entry, was about there actually. And then I was also watching cumulative delta, and you'll see it from a mile off. Look at that. So here you can see the divergence. So the price was declining while the cumulative delta was increasing. So basically that's a build up of pressure of aggressive buying. So the price was coming down. This is a 2 minute, just a simple 2 minute candlestick chart. As the price was coming down, the pressure is building, the buyers are getting more and more aggressive, and then finally it just popped, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. This is a sacked reversal I was looking for. So if I go back to my main screen on the checklist, and I was just talking about this in the video at the time, you know, so I thought, you know what, I'll take it. So we had cumulative delta divergence, the reversal pattern was this double bottom here, and it's on the VWAP, and it's at a 60-minute level. So 60-minute level, trend line broken, delta was definitely showing a reversal. The only thing was there wasn't any massive orders down there. It was pre-market. We had a few, but it wasn't massive amount, but pre-market is normally a bit less. And let me just go back to that again. So you can see we had a few orders here in the upper 1000s. Normally during market hours I'm looking for orders over 1,000 on both the bid and the ask. And so we had a few come in there, a couple up here as well. So there's a little bit of absorption, but what it looked like to me was exhaustion. So volume was high, volume was still pretty high, and lots of volume there, and then it just got less and less, and we had more and more aggressive buying coming in. So there was exhaustion from the sellers. And then going back to my checklist, So we could say there was absorption, but more, there wasn't really any ending volume. You can just about see it's average volume, but I think that's because we were just selling off slowly and absorbing any orders down there. And then basically it's a market exhaustion. And then the retest of the high is a retest of the high low to find an entry. And that's the thing, it broke out, the trend line was literally there, and it came back a little bit, so it wasn't much of a retest. It would have been better if it came back down into this area. You could say the retest was here, and we've broken that small trend line. But I went long on this red candle there. My stop was there, my entry was there. At one point I thought it was going to stop me out, but I held on and it went up to 5R. My 3R target was there, so I hit 3R, might have been a little bit higher than that, and then I trailed it up, and then as soon as it broke, I got out just there as it broke that candle. This is a bit where FOMO kicks in, because then I see the rest of the move up. So that's 5R, what's that, about 10R up here, 11R, and it got to the previous all-time high as well, which I think was about there, I think. So, you know, I did say in the video it's going to keep running, but I wanted to get my little chunk of the market, and I was happy with that. So if I just zoom out, that's where the all-time high was, just above, so that's all-time high there. So big push up. And I was trailing it on the 2, maybe I should have trailed it on the 5, but even if I trailed it on here, I probably would have got out there, or I would have got out there. So generally I'm happy, it's coming back into the area where I started now as well. Or where I got out, shall I say, that's my out area here. Okay, so that's it basically, that's my entry, and that was all done at 5 AM this morning. My alerts went off at 4:50 AM. And then my next alert, I had a trend line alert on TradingView. So basically I'll show you, it's really good having alerts on trade. You can just right click the line and then add alert on trend line, and that went off. As soon as that went off, then that's when I came to my computer, and that's when I just took over and then found an entry. Okay, SPY, sorry, digest a bit, let's just talk about SPY. Same levels as ES. Here we go. So if it pulls back down to 531.50 area, we'll watch that for a bounce. And maybe if we see a double top, potentially higher risk rejection at 534, or a break and retest. And break and retest is going to be a bit higher risk as well, because we're pretty extended. And if you look at the daily, although we have pulled back to the 8 moving average, we are quite far away from the 20 and the 50, and far away from the 200. And look at the daily, we're pretty extended up here as well. So it's going to be hard trying to find a long, but you know, the market's strong at the moment, and a break and retest over that could well work. So just watch price action and volume, and if you see a big thrust of volume, then potentially that's the energy it needs to get out of pre-market highs. And that's it really, they're the only two levels I'm watching, here and there. So let's move on to NQ. It's looking strong. Nvidia is obviously helping. I think if we can get back down into pre-market low area, we can watch that for a bounce. I have got a level here, which is a small area of confluence. That must be on the 15-minute or the 5-minute chart, which is 18,900 or 18,900. I meant for a bounce. We can watch that area. Lower trend is now not really valid because we've broken it, so we can probably get rid of that one. We can watch for the bounce off of this trend line as well, which is yesterday's high, and that will be similar to ES, where we'll be looking for a bounce. So maybe watch 18,850 for a bounce as well. But again, overextended, RSI is up in the upper 70s. The only bounce entries will be after a decent pullback down in this area. QQQ. Again, we've got the same trend line, we've got this area consolidation and this gap fill. So maybe we watch 457.98, 456 basically for a bounce this area. And again, it's hard to go short when we're at all-time highs, but higher risk short at pre-market high or break and retest long. And again, that would be higher risk because we're so extended. What's the daily look like on Qs? So hammer candles, that was yesterday. A hammer candle is one of the first signs of weakness on an uptrend, because you really want to see them down here. You know, this is a prime example, and a sign of weakness, which means we had, it just shows me that on this candle we had a lot of buyers come in and then the sellers came in. So it means there's buyers sitting there. Next day proved that. So we opened there, lots of buyers came in and hasn't looked back since. And we've got a hammer candle up here, another hammer candle there. So basically it means it's opened up there, it's come all the way down, pushed all the way back. So there's definitely showing there's sellers around there. Maybe a bit of profit taking, all-time high profit taking. Same here, opened there, come down, come back up, closed. So levels on Q, let's go back to the hourly. So 458 for a bounce, that's really the only place. Maybe we can watch this area down here, but we're far from that at the moment. SPX, I had a quick look this morning, I couldn't really see anything amazing. We're going to be opening up here somewhere, and the only place I can see if we pull back down is this 5300. Maybe we've been watching this trend line 5320, if we watch that area for a bounce. That's probably the only place, which is yesterday's high, so let's just mark that off. So 53.25 bounce on SPX. Oil, frustrating one here, I missed it. I was waiting for it to come back into this zone. I talked about it for the last few days at least. So if it comes back into that area, we're watching for a bounce. It came in yesterday, tagged my alert, and also got to the area I was waiting. Look at that. I said I've had this level up. If you go through my videos going back weeks, this level 76.84, and look at that, it's absolutely spot on. So it came in, it was in the post market unfortunately, so I wouldn't have got it. I would have been asleep by then. That's at 1 AM my time, so I would have missed that anyway. But it came right into that level, touched it and bounced, and then put in another perfect break of trend and a break and retest, similar to this is exactly what I'm looking for in a trend reversal. A reversal pattern, break of that trend down. You could also say that's the trend there, very steep trend, and then off we go. So the only thing I can see, this is all that. I put my levels in this morning, just double check. Break and retest off yesterday's high, and also the pre-market's taken up through there. We're right back at that area, so right now it's very close. So it's a high risk bounce at 78.39, exactly where we are now. If we pull back down, we can watch this area for bounces about 78, and I'm not a big fan of taking these areas. The first times normally gives you the best reaction. Second time we got a decent reaction. Third time, you know, and also it didn't come down as far as well, so maybe showing a little bit of selling weakness, and more buyers are coming in at that point. And see where that goes. If it comes back down again, then potentially it could be a break and retest area. So anyway, it's not, I say it's frustrating that I missed it. It's not frustrating, it's brilliant that my level is exactly spot on. Just gives me confidence knowing that next time I find a level I know to maybe put an order in advance. Okay, so look at gold. Same here, I had that level down there, it touched it over a few hours. Was that yesterday? Pre-market as well. So another level which is spot on, and that's basically using confluence. So today, if it comes back into that area, we can watch for a double bottom. We'll look for a reversal back. It may not be a complete double, it might be a higher low. Or we watch for the break. Oh, the pre-market's up here, but I like that pivot. Break and retest of the first, or the newer pre-market pivot, which will be this level here, 23.71. But you want to be safer than a break and retest of yesterday's low and pre-market high. So there's a couple of levels we can watch. That's a higher risk, which is coming into it now as well. Higher risk break and retest, or we want a higher probability break and retest. RTY. That's looking much weaker than the other indices we just looked at. Do quite like it for a short. In fact, look at that level. The pre-market high was a short area, which is now gone. Are we putting in a head and shoulders pattern? Left shoulder, head, maybe this is the right shoulder. I quite like the short if we're up in this area. If we can come back up to pre-market high, watch for a short down, but maybe look for a bit of a reversal in this, in between 20.99 and 20.95. It's probably gone now, that level. You know, second time it may get there, but maybe watch the head and shoulders pattern. If we can break down below yesterday's low, we can watch for a break and retest short. We are in a downtrend. You can see here, putting in new lows, lower lows, lower high, lower low, potentially, okay, lower high, lower low, potentially a lower high. Is this the change of trend we're looking for? Who knows? So that's what we need to wait for it to play out. So that's it. If we break over pre-market high, we can watch it for a break and retest long, but maybe it might come back and retest the trend line. You could say this is the trend line retest already, drop down. A higher probability play with the trend, and the trend is go for a short. The daily's looking, looks like a little bit of a pullback on the daily, but we could be looking at a head and shoulders pattern on the daily as well. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So daily's kind of going in line with the hourly as well, so we could watch that for a short around here. YM next. Okay, this is a nicer rejection area. I haven't quite got into the areas watching. Not sure what that is. Quite got into the area we're watching. That area there. 38,900 for rejection, all the way up to 4,000 psychological number, and we've got the point of control over this area as well, and an area of confidence, bottoms of candles, tops of candles. So we watch for a rejection up here, and then if it breaks pre-market low, maybe watch for a break and retest with yesterday's low as a target, and then we've got this area as another target as well, 39,431. Finally, Bitcoin. We've got 5 minutes till the market opens. Bitcoin, I thought it looked like it wanted a breakout. Big strong move, bit overextended. Volume was there as well. We saw the volume spike and it looked like it was putting in a flag pattern yesterday, and it just needed to break up that way, but it didn't. It fell down, came back, retested that area. So retest area and then rejected. So now it could be just putting in a bit of a longer flag pattern, eating time off the clock, but we'll keep an eye on that. And then back to ES to see if anything's changed in the last few minutes. No, so we coming up there, so we're coming down. We can watch this area for a bounce still. So same levels as earlier. Quickly recap: higher risk, 2 high risk trades up here, 53.68. Break and retest long, we're pretty extended, and this is why we're having this bit of a reversal. Or we can look for the reject, the double top up there, or we can watch the bounce at 53.50. They're the only 2 areas I'm watching. Okay, one thing I wanted to show you actually, something I just found yesterday, RSP, which is the S&P 500 equal weight ETF. So this is, instead of having SPY, which as weighted, so like Nvidia, Tesla, the Fab 7 are all heavily weighted, this one is equal weighted, and it gives you a slightly different picture of where the market is. Couldn't make new all-time highs, and just shows you that it's only the Fab 7 which is bringing up the market up into the all-time highs area. but the rest of the market is just doing what it normally does. Potential flag pattern there. So one to keep an eye on. I've never traded this, but one I'll keep an eye on as well, and might give some extra levels which ES and SPY doesn't. Okay, thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, and the order flow will be live in the next few minutes, and that will be streaming shortly. Okay, thank you for watching.